Bruno Mars has built one of the most successful careers in modern pop, with hits spanning pop, R&B, funk, and soul. But his audience is not limited to millions of listeners. Some of America's biggest singers have publicly praised his talent, his songwriting, his live performances, or the music he has created with Silk Sonic. So which American artists have openly shown real admiration for Bruno Mars, and what exactly did they say or do that puts them on this list? The answers reveal a network of respect across generations and genres, and every name here is based on documented public statements, performances, collaborations, or other verifiable evidence. Let's start with number 7. Number 7. The Showman's Choice, Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow did not just casually mention Bruno Mars as an artist he liked. When Parade asked the veteran American singer which contemporary artists excited him, Manilow named Bruno Mars and explained exactly why. His answer focused on something that has defined Bruno's career from the beginning: the combination of music, performance, and presentation. Manilow said Mars puts together an exciting show with a band and choreography, adding, "I just love that kind of thing." That was more than a passing compliment. Manilow also identified Mars as the modern pop artist he would most like to perform within a duet. Coming from an artist whose own career spans decades of songwriting, recording, touring, and large-scale live performance, the choice says a lot about what he recognized in Mars. Barry Manilow built his reputation around memorable melodies and theatrical live entertainment, while Bruno Mars emerged in a different era with a similarly broad approach to performance. Mars sings, dances, works with a full band, and has built shows around tightly coordinated musical arrangements and choreography. Manilow's admiration was therefore specific. He was responding to the kind of complete stage production that he himself valued. And there is an important distinction here. Manilow did not claim Bruno Mars was simply popular or commercially successful. He pointed directly to the way Mars constructs a live show. That makes this one of the clearest examples on the list, because the evidence comes from Manilow's own public comments about the contemporary artist who stood out to him. In a business full of singers competing for attention, Barry Manilow looked at the modern pop landscape and picked Bruno Mars as the artist he wanted beside him on stage. And if that is number 7, the next name takes the admiration in a very different direction. Number 6. A voice of respect, Adele. Adele and Bruno Mars are two of the defining pop voices of their generation, but their public personas and musical approaches are very different. Adele is known primarily for emotionally direct ballads and powerhouse vocals, while Bruno Mars has moved across pop, R&B, funk, soul, and large-scale choreography-driven performances. Yet Adele has publicly made clear that she holds his work in high regard. During an appearance on The Graham Norton Show, she spoke about Bruno Mars while discussing contemporary music and described him as amazing. She also named his music among the artists she listens to. That matters because Adele is not simply reacting to a single hit or a brief cultural moment. Both artists have operated at the highest commercial level for years, with albums, singles, and live performances reaching audiences around the world. Their careers have also repeatedly intersected during major award seasons, where both have been recognized by institutions, including the Recording Academy. But public respect between major artists is not always expressed through collaboration. Sometimes the evidence is simpler and more direct, one artist openly acknowledging another's talent. Adele's comments about Bruno Mars fit exactly into that category. She has praised him as a contemporary artist whose work she genuinely enjoys, placing him among the musicians she listens to rather than treating him as merely another competitor in the pop market. And that distinction is important. This list is not about assuming that successful singers admire one another. It is about documented evidence of appreciation. Adele's public praise provides that evidence. Two artists with very different musical identities can still recognize the quality of each other's work, and in this case, Adele made her opinion clear. Bruno Mars is an artist she rates highly. But the next singer's connection to Bruno Mars goes beyond praise alone and leads into a relationship built around direct musical history. Number 5. From fan to collaborator, Cardi B. Before Cardi B and Bruno Mars became collaborators, Cardi had already made her admiration for him public. In a 2018 interview with The Fader, she recalled being excited when she was contacted about appearing on the remix of Bruno Mars' Finesse. According to Cardi, she initially thought the call might be a prank because working with Mars was something she genuinely wanted. The collaboration became official and Finesse remix was released in January 2018 with Cardi B as a featured artist. The song gave both artists a major crossover moment, reaching the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 and later earning Grammy recognition. But Cardi's connection to Bruno did not stop there. In 2021, when Bruno Mars and Paak introduced their new project Silk Sonic, Cardi publicly showed support for the duo's debut single, Leave the Door Open. She later appeared alongside Bruno and Paak at the 2021 Grammy Awards, where the artists were part of one of the ceremony's most closely watched musical moments. What makes Cardi's place on this list different is that her admiration came before and alongside a real professional connection. She was not simply praising Bruno after sharing a hit with him. Her own account of how she reacted to the opportunity to work with him showed that the collaboration meant something to her personally as an artist and performer. That context matters. Bruno Mars had already established himself as one of the most commercially successful performers of his generation before Cardi joined Finesse, and Cardi was clear that appearing on one of his records was an opportunity she wanted. The result was not just a celebrity crossover. Finesse remix brought together two artists from different musical backgrounds and became a documented example of admiration turning into an actual collaboration. And the next singer has praised Bruno Mars from a position built on an entirely different kind of musical legacy. Number 4. Respect from a legend, Stevie Wonder. When Stevie Wonder talks about music, his opinion carries the weight of one of the most influential careers in American popular music. So when Bruno Mars joined James Corden for Carpool Karaoke in 2016, one of the most memorable moments came when Wonder called in to speak with him directly. Mars had long cited Wonder as one of his musical influences, and the exchange showed the connection between the two artists in public. But Wonder's respect for Bruno Mars has also appeared in his own comments. In a 2017 interview with CBS Sunday Morning, Wonder discussed younger artists and singled out Bruno Mars as someone he admired, praising his musical ability and the way he performs. The recognition was significant because Bruno Mars has never hidden the influence of classic American soul, funk, and R&B on his work, genres Stevie Wonder helped redefine through decades of recordings as a singer, songwriter, musician, and producer. Mars has incorporated live instrumentation, horn arrangements, funk rhythms, and vocal influences associated with earlier generations into his own contemporary pop career. That does not make Bruno Mars a copy of Stevie Wonder, and Wonder never presented him that way. The connection is more precise. One major artist from a younger generation has openly acknowledged the music that influenced him, while one of the architects of that musical tradition has publicly recognized Bruno's talent. For Mars, that kind of respect carries a particular context. Stevie Wonder was already a Motown star before Bruno Mars was born, and his catalog includes landmark recordings that helped shape the vocabulary of modern pop, R&B, and soul. Bruno Mars later built a global career in a very different music industry, but with an obvious appreciation for musicianship and performance traditions that Wonder helped establish. So this is not simply one famous singer complimenting another. It is a documented moment of recognition across generations between an artist who helped shape modern popular music and one who carried some of those traditions into a new era. And number 3 brings us to an artist whose admiration for Bruno Mars became part of an actual Grammy-winning project. Number 3. The perfect match, Paak. By the time Paak and Bruno Mars officially introduced Silk Sonic in 2021, their musical chemistry was already built on genuine mutual respect. In announcing the project, Mars and Paak presented themselves not as rivals brought together by a label strategy, but as two musicians who had developed a friendship and decided to make music together. The result was Silk Sonic's debut single, Leave the Door Open, followed by the album An Evening with Silk Sonic. For Paak, the collaboration placed him alongside an artist whose work he had openly admired. Before Silk Sonic existed, Paak had already spoken enthusiastically about Bruno Mars' musicianship and live performances. Their connection also developed through touring. Paak opened for Mars on selected dates of the 24K Magic World Tour, giving the two artists time to work around the same live music environment before becoming a recording duo. That history helps explain why Silk Sonic sounded like a genuine meeting point between their styles. Bruno Mars brought his experience in tightly constructed pop, R&B, funk, and large-scale performance, while Paak contributed his own background as a singer, rapper, drummer, songwriter, and producer. Neither artist disappeared into the other's identity. Instead, Silk Sonic became a separate project built around their shared appreciation for classic soul and R&B traditions. The collaboration also earned major recognition. Leave the Door Open won 4 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year, while An Evening with Silk Sonic produced a body of work that established the duo as more than a one-song experiment. For Paak, this was admiration with consequences. Respect for another artist became touring, friendship, collaboration, and eventually a Grammy-winning partnership. And that is what makes his place on this list especially clear. Paak did not simply say Bruno Mars was talented. He built an entire musical project with him, and together, they created one of the most successful collaborations of the decade. But the next name had already become a major pop force long before publicly showing just how highly she rated Bruno Mars. Number 2. Learning from Bruno, Leon Thomas. Leon Thomas is not just another singer praising Bruno Mars from a distance. He has directly worked around Mars in a live touring environment, and he has openly described how closely he studied Bruno's approach to performance. In 2026, Thomas toured with Bruno Mars and Paak on dates of Mars' global tour. Speaking about that experience, Thomas explained that after finishing his own performances, he would watch Mars and Paak from the sound engineer's booth and take notes. He specifically described paying attention to the way they performed for massive audiences and said the experience influenced how he thinks about stagecraft. Thomas also recalled Bruno Mars' attention to rehearsal, describing how Mars could run through a song repeatedly during soundcheck to refine the performance. For an artist, that kind of observation says more than a casual compliment. Leon Thomas was actively studying how Bruno Mars works. Thomas had already established his own career as a singer, songwriter, producer, and performer, including major work behind the scenes for other artists. But touring alongside Mars gave him the opportunity to observe a different scale of live production firsthand. And what stood out was not simply Bruno's fame. Thomas focused on the details: rehearsal, movement, audience connection, and the discipline required to make a large performance feel controlled and engaging. He also described watching the shows specifically to learn. That is the key reason Leon Thomas belongs on this list. Fan can be an imprecise word, especially when discussing professional musicians. But in Thomas's case, the documented evidence shows clear artistic admiration. He watched, took notes, and credited the experience of observing Bruno Mars' performances with influencing his own development as a performer. The two artists also share an appreciation for musicianship and performance traditions shaped by artists such as Prince, another point of connection Thomas discussed while reflecting on the experience. So number 2 is not based on an invented celebrity friendship or a vague assumption. It comes from Leon Thomas's own description of what he did when he had the chance to watch Bruno Mars work. He paid attention, studied the details, and treated the experience as a lesson. And that kind of respect brings this ranking to its final name. Number 1. A pop icon's respect, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars had already spent years as two of the most recognizable artists in modern pop before their musical connection became an official collaboration. In 2024, Gaga released Die with a Smile with Bruno Mars, a song the two artists wrote and performed together. The collaboration was not presented as a random pairing. Both artists publicly described the experience as a creative connection built around songwriting and musicianship, with Gaga later speaking positively about working with Mars and the musical process behind the record. The song became a major commercial success, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earning Grammy recognition, including the award for Best Pop Duo/Group Performance. Gaga's admiration for Mars was also visible in the way she described their collaboration. She praised his musicianship and the experience of creating music together, while Mars likewise spoke positively about Gaga as a vocalist and artist. That mutual respect matters because both entered the partnership with long-established careers and distinct artistic identities. Gaga built her career through a combination of pop, songwriting, theatrical performance, and vocal versatility. Mars developed his through songwriting, live musicianship, pop, R&B, funk, and performance. Their collaboration brought those strengths together without requiring either artist to abandon what made them distinctive. Die with a Smile also demonstrated how two established solo stars could build a hit around the song itself, rather than a heavily choreographed spectacle. The recording centered on vocals, melody, instrumentation, and the contrast between their voices. For this list, Gaga earns the top spot because the evidence is direct and substantial: public respect, a documented creative partnership, and a major song created together. Collaboration alone does not automatically prove fandom, but Gaga's public praise and enthusiasm for working with Bruno provide the context that makes this connection clear. And after 6 other singers, the final picture is simple. Bruno Mars has earned admiration not only from audiences, but from fellow artists with major careers of their own. Added value. What this list actually shows the strongest pattern across these 7 singers is not that they all admire Bruno Mars for exactly the same reason. Barry Manilow highlighted his ability to build a complete live show. Cardi B made clear that collaborating with Mars was an opportunity she genuinely wanted. Stevie Wonder represented recognition across generations of American popular music. Paak turned mutual respect into Silk Sonic, a Grammy-winning partnership. Adele publicly described herself as a big fan and later worked with Mars as a songwriter. And Lady Gaga joined him in a major collaboration built around shared songwriting and musicianship. Taken together, these examples show why Bruno Mars occupies a distinctive position in modern music. His appeal among fellow singers is connected not only to hit records, but also to songwriting, musicianship, live performance, stylistic versatility, and collaboration. The important point is precision. These artists should not all be described as fans in exactly the same sense. Some explicitly used words of admiration, while others demonstrated respect through collaboration, public praise, or long-term creative partnerships. But every name on this list has a documented connection that goes beyond random celebrity association. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more fact-based music rankings, artist connections, and the stories behind some of the biggest names in entertainment. Drop your pick for the next list in the comments, and until then, keep listening closely.